everyone. Welcome back with one more interesting session on Boost My Career. Today we have Udit Chalana. He is having more than 5+ years of experience and he is an FPNA professional. So Udit, welcome to Boost My Career. Would you like to give us a thought about you and share something about yourself and your profile, what we are going to talk about today?
Sure, Swati. And first of all, thank you so much for having me. I will definitely be happy to share my knowledge and experience so far I have since I started this journey. As you said, I do have in total 5 years of experience, which includes 3 years of internship and 2 years of my experience in financial planning and analysis department. So to introduce myself, my name is Udit Chalana and I belong to Rajasthan, Sri Ganganagar, Rajasthan, and I am a chartered accountant by profession. And also I have completed my diploma in IFRS from ACCA UK. And also I'm a commerce graduate from a regular college. I am working with Cisco Systems Incorporation since last almost 2 years into FPNA department. And it's been a great journey so far. And I think I learned a lot during these last 2 years. And before that, my 3 years of internship, half of that 3 years of internship was from SRD Nodia and Company LLP, which is situated in New Delhi. And the rest of my internship I have completed from Sanjay Bansal and Company, which is in my hometown. So in both of those organizations, I was in a statutory audit and tax audit department, where again my learning curve there also was quite, I would say, big for me. And I learned a lot from that statutory legal compliance and all those kind of perspective. That is my a brief journey so far.
Thanks, Udit. Thanks for introducing yourself to the audience. So now we would like to ask you about the FPNA profile itself. Like, what is it about, and how do we get into that profile, and what kinds of skills is required to get into those kind of profile, and what kind of experience you get after going into such profiles, as well as what is the experience that is necessary for pursuing such profiles.
Okay, so to start with, I would say, as the name suggests, right, financial planning and analysis. It itself explains quite a lot that the profile is all about the planning, and also analysis. Planning relating to what we are going to do in the business, going forward, saying plan and then forecast, budgeting. This is going to up, this is going to down, how we can reduce our cogs, how we can increase our gross margins, how we can actually capture the market as much as we can according to macro microeconomics. And the analysis includes the analysis of the data whatsoever we do have from the past, so that we can first of all analyze the performance of the business, and accordingly, considering the situation we do have in the coming time, right, we can take the business related decisions, and also help the business leadership to take the decisions accordingly. This is, I would say, a very helicopter kind of view about the profile. Um, so coming on to what kind of work it includes, right? And according to the definition I told you about the financial planning and analysis, this is the kind of work which we do. But it all depends on industry to industry, company to company, what kind of work actually they want to assign to you in the name of financial planning and analysis. I can share my experience, but again, it can vary from company to company, right? In my experience, my role actually includes to make a lot of analysis and partner with the business finance as well as business operations team to understand what exactly the business scenario is going on right now, and what exactly the problems they are facing, what are those key areas where they do need our help to make the key business decisions. So my roles and responsibilities does include all of these kind of things, where I do prepare a lot of analysis which are part of our day-to-day business, right? Like how actuals is growing year over year, what kind of linearity I do have, what kind of versus plan versus budgets, and these kind of stuff we are going on. What is my actuals gross margin, what is against my forecast gross margin and all, right? This is my day-to-day responsibilities. And also it does include, as I said, a lot of discussion with the business finance and business operations team to understand that, okay, this kind of product category we are not able to sell. Why we are not able to sell? Because we do have one substitute product for the same kind of category, and customer rather prefer to buy a little bit of basic category of service or product rather than buying the premium one, right? Which is actually causing harm to the actuals booking by almost half of the bookings we can get, the potential bookings we can get, right? So these kind of analysis is part of my day-to-day job, where I do connect directly with the business teams and do understand that what they actually do need from my side. And then once I do prepare the analysis from scratch, right, from a blank Excel sheet or from a blank model where I do want to do, I do present it before them, and then that analysis goes forward to the more, I would say, senior hierarchy. And also many times I get a chance to, explain that analysis, what exactly I want to say in front of the leadership. So this kind of roles and responsibilities are part of my day-to-day job. Um, Sorry, I missed the second phase of your question. Can you please repeat?
So basically, we all also want to understand, like, is there any prior experience required for joining such profiles, or like what kind
I
of
would
skills
say
are required? Yeah.
Yeah. I would say on your question about experience, this is after qualifying from chartered accountancy course, right? This is my first job. So I joined as a fresher in Cisco systems and directly into the FPNA profile. So I cannot at all declare that, okay, this kind of experience you do need. And you also know, right, in our chartered accountancy course itself, there is no specific subject about finance, right? Yes, I can't deny the fact that there are a lot of areas which are directly relating to finance, right? But as I have explained you my roles and responsibilities, that kind of area, analytical skills, looking into the data, how we can make the analysis, how to actually understand the business, right? Which is the most key component of this job. That is, I think, something which is missing in our curriculum of CA course. So, prior experience, no, it is not required. But coming on to the skill set, I have already answered your question. The most premium skill set one can have is understanding of the business, how actually you can, understand the concern of the people who are running the business, who are playing with the real money, right? Who are actually generating the revenue in billions of dollars. So you should have the capabilities to actually try to understand. We can't simply explain the what kind of scenario I'm talking about sitting outside the financial and planning and analysis department. But what I'm trying to say is, if we do have that capability, or I would say in Hindi we do call jigyasa, to understand that how
Curiosity.
actually one, yeah,
Yeah.
how one business, how one can run the business, how they can generate the value, right? That is the most premium skill sets one can have. And apart from that, I would say analytical skills, that once you will understand the problem, how you will actually play with the data, right? How you will present it. And business people or finance can present the problem statement in front of you. You should be the one who, first of all, should have the capability uh, to make a, I would say, roadmap where you can explain how you can come out from this problem statement. Second, which we can call it as communication skills, through which you should be able to communicate the same and convince those people that, okay, what I'm trying to explain, and this is how you can actually come out from a particular business problem you do have right now, right? So one, understanding of business. Second, communication, or I would say analytical skills. Third, obviously, in terms of softwares, etc., I think one should have, I would say, intermediate kind of experience on hands-on experience on Microsoft Office, including Excel, Power BI. Power BI these days are playing an important role of getting into this financial planning and analysis, because no, I would say premium company do want you to spend most of your time playing with pivot tables and playing with the Excel files, right? They do want you to create something which can exist there without any human intervention, even after you, or even after you will going to move forward in the organization, right? So Microsoft Office, and then Power BI, and then there are some kind of industry specific softwares like and it all depends on what company is using which software, but I would say Hyperion, Sbase, and then Salesforce, and then SAP. Okay, SAP do also have various version. At least if I will talk about myself, I am using business objects version of SAP. Okay, so these kind of software you should have at least intermediate kind of expertise or hands-on experience. But definitely by the time you will learn and you will do things relating to that company in the way they do want you to do, I think that depends on company to company, but at least intermediate experience one should have.
Okay. So basically, all these softwares can be learned during the job itself, right? Not necessary you have to get like immense experience into these softwares before joining any job,
Not
right?
at all. Not immense experience, I would say, not at all. The softwares like Hyperion, Sbase, or even Salesforce, right? If you do have a very brief idea from a YouTube video, or someone is explaining you, okay, how it exactly looks like, where is edit button, where is run button, and all, right? That is enough, more than enough. But Microsoft Office, I would say, one should have intermediate at least
Yeah.
before even going into this job, and that is a must kind of skill everyone do have in their school time as well, right?
Yeah.
So there is no question about it. Power BI also, I would say someone can learn doing the job also, but I think it is the most premium skill one can have to be into the financial planning and analysis
Okay.
job. So if that kind of skill you do have, your CV is, I would say, going to be highlighted in front of all the interviewer panel, that okay, this person can deliver something on Power BI before even we will going to train them on the same.
Okay. So thanks, Udit, for such insight. So going forward, we need to ask like if you are in this profile, okay, so how is it possible to move into another profiles into like other profiles of finance? How easy for a person pursuing FPNA can move to other profiles, as well as like within the same profile, how one moves up in the ladder in the same profile, like
Okay.
how is it goes both ways around here.
Okay, so in according to my ideology, okay, every profession is a kind of tree, okay, and every job is a branch of that particular tree. You can definitely jump from one branch to another, but jumping from one tree to another tree is a kind of, I would say, high risky area. So I can explain you that within finance how you can move outside the profile altogether. I think nobody will even think about it, right? At least I will not be going to think in the coming time to move from finance directly to the statutory audit or even internal audit, right? But being in finance, I think there are hundreds of opportunity, hundreds of areas. And as I said in the beginning, every organization do have its own specific requirement from FP&A also. They actually, in the name of FP&A, divide the entire task, right? Because FP&A is not a particular thing which you will going to do. It is a task which starts from the opportunity, just an opportunity, not the even the contract. Okay, it starts from the opportunity which is coming up from the market, and it all together ends when that opportunity got realized, and then monitor that okay, whether it is beneficial for the organization or not. So throughout the process, right, there are a lot of um, key areas where each and every organization do have its own rules. So according to my understanding, if someone want to move from FP&A and move into some other branch of finance, right, those might be business finance, or the commercial finance, or even the sales finance, and so on, right?
Okay.
So there, and all of these are obviously part of FPNA and also not part of FPNA, right? And they are actually integrated between all of them. I cannot define some other companies' roles and responsibilities, what exactly they are assigning to a particular designation. But what I can understand so far is they all are integrated within them so much that each and every role depends on each other, right? So, uh, as I said, business finance, corporate finance, and then sales finance, each and every role really, where the finance do have some role to play. All of them are an open opportunity for the FP&A people. Now, if someone want to move within the same branch, but uh, one after another, right?
Yeah.
I would say there is no limit, because there is no as such specific designation I can call out that okay, manager level or director level you can go. I have seen in the last 2 years, right? I have seen many chartered accountants in my as well as other organization being a chartered accountant, starting from FP&A, reaching out to CFO level directly, right?
Okay. Great.
So VP, CFO, all these people are nothing but the chartered accountants from our community itself, right? So I think there is no particular designation I can call out. It is a, I would say, kula asman, where wherever you want to jump, you can.
Okay. So, Udit, like if you are mentioning Khula Asman, so I also need to know, like in that Khula Asman, how much one is getting, like how the compensation serves you in FPNA profile, like for a fresher level, and who all can join FPNA profile as of, like, is only a CA required, or MBAs can also pursue, or CWA and other professionals who can join FPNA? And at any point of time, if somebody wants to join FPNA, how that person can do that?
Okay, coming on to compensation, right? For a fresher, I would say it is as per the industry practice. I haven't seen that, okay, if you want to be in finance in the beginning, you have to at least adjust a little bit about the compensation and all. So there is no as such scenario we do have as of now in the industry. So coming on to the I would say range I can give,
Yeah.
you can expect, being a fresher, you can expect in any organization in FP&A, you can expect around 12 to 13 lakh. Okay, I know 3 lakh is a big range, but yes, it is the reality. 10 to 13 lakh you can expect in FP&A profile. Now, coming on to the other professions, I know I have mentioned mostly about the
Yeah.
CA, and all that. Okay, CAs, I have seen CAs to be
Yeah.
on the position of CFO, but honestly speaking, it is not at all about CAs, CS, CMA, CWA, CIMA, or even CPA, right? It's all about the passion you do have towards any particular area. So I always suggest to the people whomsoever do ask me, a very few people whomsoever have asked me about how they actually should select their career. My only advice to them is don't go behind the compensation or even the organization, whether it is American MNC or European or Indian, right? Whether it is statutory audit or internal audit or finance, right? The only thing you should consider is what exactly is meant for you. Uh, I was in statutory audit in my articleship, right? I have told you, but I what I decided after qualifying from chartered accountancy is uh, statutory audit is not a kind of area where I will be going to continue with, right? So that is my take. I took a couple of years back, and I think everyone should take that kind of decision wherever they think that okay, this is not meant for them. So it's all about the passion. It's not that a CA can be only in FP&A, or they can be only grow to a VP or even a CFO kind of position. If you do have passion, then each and every company do actually offer, and specifically in finance, if I will talk about, right, there is no as such vacancy I saw in the last 2 years, except a few, right, that they are specifically asking for CAs. They always, keep the profiles open for CAs, CMAs, and then CIMAs and CPA, CFA, and all, provided they should meet the minimum, experience criteria, or they
Okay.
should be able to answer their interview question, which actually explains that whether they are passionate about the same or not.
Also MBAs, I suppose, right?
Yeah. MBAs also, yes. And
Yeah.
definitely, I would say most of, not if not most, I would say 50% of people who are part of FPNA in the industry as a whole are from MBA profession, right?
Okay.
And I would say that percentage itself explains very well that they are much capable to, perform the responsibilities assigned in this particular job.
Okay. Okay. And so we would have to know like a round of questions also, like what could be the pros and cons for joining such profile? Like, what do you felt about it?
Pros, I think I have already explained quite well throughout the time, right? There are many pros. Something like you will be getting the opportunity to understand the business of a multi-billion-dollar company, right? I think that kind of opportunity you will not going to get in any other profile. You
Okay.
may get a chance to look into what exactly the organization performed, but that is not the actual, I would say, scenario on the ground, right? So the ground reality, you will going to understand that how a company runs its business, how a organization starts from the ground and then reach out to some Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 or level, right? So that kind of opportunity you will get. Second pro, I would say, obviously, if you are passionate about finance, right, being in the same profession, I think there is no other satisfaction you can have in your life to work in the same profession in which you are passionate about. There are many pros. I think I have explained throughout the time that okay, you can reach out to those higher level management level where you will be handling the actual business, right? If you are very passionate about the business, you may get a chance. If you are doing well, you may get a just chance to run the business as well, right? So that kind of opportunities you can get. Cons. There are a couple of cons as well, but okay, again, this is it all depends on person to person, because being in finance, I think compensation wise, one may get some hurdles in the coming time. As of now, I have never seen that industry is paying less and then big four is paying something more in comparison to industry. But in terms of growth, I think finance takes a little bit more time to provide you the growth. You will not going to see the year over year growth in double digits, I would say.
Okay.
Okay, that is almost, I would say, rarest to rare situation. So compensation wise, but that the compensation also, I think it is basically the short term kind of thing. In long term, everybody will be on the same page. So that is first kind of phone. Second thing I would say, uh, which I feels about, is being in finance, you will slowly lose your touch from the base where you started, right? So
It's like it
what I'm
becomes
talking about is
monotonous.
monotonous, you can say, but what I'm trying to say is basically you started your CA from where, right? You
Okay.
started from accountancy, you started from law, you started from income tax, like, right, corporate law and income tax, and then you started from economics and all, right? But finance does not include any of these areas. And as I said, we don't have any particular subject about the finance. That is a con, I would say, that we don't have the subject. And what we are doing right now is not actually relating to the subjects we read throughout the period, right?
Okay.
So, but again, right, it all depends. I know if somebody is appearing for CA or CMA or these kind of professions, right? They actually were passionate about those courses. That is why they actually entered into it and then cleared those. And if you are still passionate, I think you can manage to stay in touch with those kind of areas. And definitely in future, if you are able to somehow manage that kind of scenario, that will definitely going to help you in future as well.
Okay. Okay. So last but not the least, our last question of the segment is like, can you give us only one interview question one should always be prepared before going for FPNA related interviews?
I will happy to even tell more than one. Okay, because as finance do not have any relation with income tax and all. One, according to my understanding, okay, the candidate should not focus on corporate laws, income tax laws, and these kind of stuff. Rather, you should focus on basics of finance, right? Like uh, what exactly the COGS is, how a manufacturing company decides its cost, what is upper line, what is EBITDA, what is my
Operating
operational
profit.
expenses, yes. And also they should actually go through the business understanding of the organization in which they are going to be interviewed.
Okay.
And also they should be very well aware about the impact of macroeconomics factors on that particular company and on that particular business, right? So, for example, if I would be the one being a fresher who is appearing for the interview, right? My first task will be to understand that what impact this Ukraine-Russia war is having in this particular industry, what impact of that interest rate hike in US is impacting on this industry, and what will going to happen if China actually will impose a war on Taiwan, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
uh, I think one should have a very clear idea about the industry and its impact before going to be interviewed.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Udit, for your help and assistance today. And we hope we wish and that we have more sessions with you going forward. Thanks a lot for today.